What's up, volleyball fam? So today, as promised, I have been on the hunt for the very best volleyball resources to help you improve your game today. So you don't need a ball, you don't need a net, you don't need teammates, you don't need a coach, you don't need knee pads, you don't even need to get out of bed. These are all resources you can access today from wherever you are quarantining, social distancing, and locked down. In this video, we're starting with podcasts, so let's jump right in. Hi guys, if you're new here, I'm Kira. I'm a professional volleyball player. And this channel is dedicated to helping you reach your volleyball goals, whatever they may be. So no matter what level you're currently at, whether you have dreams of playing in the Olympics or if you just want to perfect that overhand serve, I'm here to help you do exactly that. So in my last video, I outlined 3 things that I have seen in common among some of the best players that I've played with and against throughout my career. So I'm talking about NCAA All-Americans, I'm talking national team players, Champions League winners, Olympic gold medalists, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen that video, one of the traits I outlined is being thirsty. Thirsty for knowledge of the game. So having said that, I went ahead and found some of the best resources out there on the internet today that can help you with your game. And I found a lot, so I thought I would break it down into categories. And today we're starting with podcasts. And again, I came across quite a few of them. So in this video, I'm bringing you the 6 volleyball podcasts that resonated the most with me. These are not in any particular order, so let's just dive right in. So first up is a podcast called Free Ball, and you can probably guess from the title it's a little bit more lighthearted than most. The hosts, Cam and Louie, have kind of a Hamish and Andy vibe. If you're Australian, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But with a self-deprecating British humor that I love. The guys interview national team players and professional players, both male and female, and indoor and beach. They go into the background of each player as well as discuss current tournaments and current events in volleyball. My favorite part of each episode is when they ask their guests to pick a dream team. It's kind of funny to watch the guests kind of squirming because they don't want to insult any of their teammates, but also it's really cool to see who the best players in the world think are the best players in the world. Up next is a pretty obvious one. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's Real Pod with Victoria Garrick. She herself is a former Division I volleyball player. I think she was a walk-on at USC, but she stuck it out for all 4 years. And when she graduated, she decided not to go pro, but instead she's paying it forward by becoming an advocate for female empowerment, healthy body image, mental health, and she really gets her guests to open up about these topics as well as what it takes to be an elite athlete. She brings on volleyball as well as non-volleyball guests, and her enthusiasm on the microphone really comes across and leaves you inspired to sort of embrace who you are and take on life's challenges and just grab life by the horns. Grab life by the horns. The third podcast that I am recommending for you guys is called Get the Pancake. Now, this show is directed more at coaches than players, but I still think you're going to get a lot of value from it for a few different reasons. First off, because if you want to get ahead as a player, I think it really helps to get in the head of your coach, and this is a great way to do that. And secondly, because the host, Whitney, is a female, and I came across a lot of podcasts where old men, no offense, brought on guests which were other old men to talk about women's and girls volleyball. And I just feel like there might be a little bit of a disconnect there. Yes, I've played for a lot of great male coaches in my career, but I also think some of my best coaches have been women. And so it's really nice to hear a female voice on female volleyball. Next up is Finding Mastery with Michael Gervais. He was a mental coach for the US Women's National Team. But this podcast is not specifically for volleyball. So the guests can be anything from elite athletes to creatives to psychologists, but he really dives into the mental intricacies of becoming a high performer in your craft. And I included this one because I think no matter who you are, you're not one-dimensional. So you're not just an athlete, you're not just a volleyball player, you're not just a photographer or just a student. All of us have layers. So this one is a great one to sort of ignite the fire of your creative, athletic, and just human potential. The 5th podcast I have for you guys is In the World of Female Sports with Larissa Maloney, who is a former professional volleyball player herself. And again, while this is not just a volleyball specific podcast, She does have a lot of professional beach volleyball players come on as guests. And what I love about this podcast is that the host has an intimate knowledge of being a professional athlete herself. And she speaks specifically through the lens of being a volleyball player. And as a volleyball player myself, I love hearing the background stories of how athletes got from where they were to where they wanted to be, how they got to that high level. So if you're into that too, I think you're really gonna like this one. My final hot tip for volleyball podcasts for you is the tip. This one had me cracking up. I was literally in tears listening to some of these episodes because it's more of a stand-up comedy show than a volleyball podcast. It's basically a super laid-back conversation between the host, Dallas Sunius, who is a former professional and national team player, and his friends who are other pro and national team players. You kind of get the feeling sometimes that you're just listening in on a locker room conversation, which can be kind of awkward, especially when they start talking about gingers. Because you'll see this orange hair, right? I'm not gonna lie, you're not gonna get that much volleyball information from this particular podcast, but you will laugh because it's hilarious. Alright guys, so those are my favorites, and all of the links are going to be down in the description below. Freeball and the tip, unfortunately, are not making any more current episodes, so if you like those two, go to Instagram, find the hosts, and harass them until they start making episodes again. In the comments below, let me know which of these 6 is your favorite volleyball podcast. Did I miss something? Maybe you don't like any of them, in which case, what the heck are you listening to? Let me know in the comments. If you're a volleyball player, or a ginger, hit the like button and subscribe if you're serious about improving your volleyball game, because that's the point of what we're doing here. I want to help you guys. Also, watch the videos at the end of this video if you want to see more about life as a professional player in Europe. And other than that, love you guys. Happy quarantine.